Hello and welcome to Flory Models Friday Catch-Up Show. Here we are with you on the 27th of September 2024. After, I would say, a really busy week, but unfortunately it wasn't in here. I've only actually been in here since, well, Wednesday and today. That's it. The rest of it is a bit of a write-off. As a lot of you know, and I mentioned it last week, the kids were moving house, so we were helping them out over the weekend. And then on Monday, and then obviously on Tuesday itself was the actual move. So obviously I had a few days off the beginning of the week doing that one. Wednesday though came along and I did crack on with this one. So this is the Space 1999 and I've done a little bit of homework, which I suppose I should do before I start these builds, but you know me. Anyway, it's a 1/96 scale kit and this is the original one from 1975. And I must admit, I have to say, for 1975, I think it's really very, very nice. I must admit, the parts are clean, they're crisp. There's a little bit of flash, but hey, that's normal for a sort of NPC kit anyway. But yeah, apparently this kit was first released in 1975. Apparently there's some accuracy problems with it, this, that, and the other. So yeah, if you want a really, really hyper detailed, accurate one, all the rest of it, you are going to fork out almost 200 quid and you're going to have to go for the 22-inch version because that one was actually released in 2015 when this kit was re-released. But this is technically the original transporter from 1975. Big thank you to a couple of guys who reached out to me and told me all about this because I didn't know. It put me on the right track. But yeah, so originally it was just the normal one with the cargo bay. And then in 2015, when the new one came out, the 22-inch one, that they actually released this particular one with the lab pod onto it as well. A gorgeous resin, absolutely beautiful resin. So it's probably some of the nicest, castest resin I think I've ever seen. It is just generally just really, really nice, this stuff. But the kit itself, it is a little bit basic. As you might imagine, there's not a lot to this. I managed to get it together in roughly around about 3 hours, all done. But it is all completed and it's ready for painting now. We've been around and we've done a little bit of sanding and stuff like that with it. So because of the complexities of this, so the way that works is the actual dock bit inside the actual skeleton of the framework is in grey, and then obviously all the piping on top for the actual skeleton itself is in white. So it does make it a little bit tricky when it comes to actually doing the painting on this. Also, the thing is, you might notice, catch it in the light, we have got a couple of nasty sink marks in here. So we've got a few at the front and a few down in here, same on the rear. So we're going to take care of those ones as well, and then we'll sand and blend under here as well. And we've got the little jetpack rocket things. I don't know quite what they would call it, but these ones just going to come in here and they're going to fit on the bottom like this. These ones are all going to be done in metal, as you might imagine, the same way with these ones on here. All right, so we're going to do that. But again, quite nice. And if you did want to do it as the original one, which is a bit of a squeeze to fit in here, but you could have it as the original one as well. All right, but I think I am going to do it with the lab because you do get this giant jetpack thing that sits on the back here as well. So I think it's going to be quite nice. Again, it's really, really nice because talk about going back in the day. It is that thing where, you know, 1975, clearly I was only 2, but it was that thing. I remember it from obviously reruns and things like that, and great sort of affection for this. And the other big thing as well is that I had the dinky one as a child that I've still got today, even though I can't quite find it. It's here somewhere. I know it. I've just got to try and find it. So I've got the dinky one as well, and that one is obviously a toy that I've played and kept my entire life. So I must have a connection with this particular ship somewhere along the line. And I must admit, now I'm doing a little bit of homework on this because that's what I like to do when I'm doing all my builds. I usually look at a kit and think, oh yeah, that'd be really good. And then if I don't know anything about it, what I tend to do is I start doing a little bit of homework. So it's the usual thing. We all Google it, stuff like that. YouTube videos, things like that as well. One of the things I've come up with is like the Eagle Obsession, which is a film that's coming out next year to mark the sort of 50th anniversary of this particular film coming out. So obviously this came out in 1975. So again, it's one of those things, 50 years old birthday, but still looks absolutely fantastic. Apparently they are releasing a new 22-inch version of this particular one as well for the Eagle Transporter. So there's a new one coming along, which apparently is one of the most detailed ones you can possibly get. And again, because this is old Jerry Anderson, so think Thunderbirds and Captain Scarlet and things like that, it's the same prop work all in this one. So again, but it's quite nice. But finding out the information about it, so apparently this one's not the most accurate because it was done from it. And then again, apparently when they did season 2, they upgraded the actual Eagle transporters to make them a little bit more durable because they had a habit of crashing on scene, if you know what I mean. So it was one of those ones where they made them a little bit high tech, and because of that, they added more detail to them as well. But again, you never saw the strings in that. But if you watch the Blu-ray versions or even the HD versions now on YouTube, yeah, you can see them sort of, you know, dangling around in that. But cutting edge of its day, and there's something really, really simple design of these, which is more believable, I think, than other sci-fi genres if you look at. And again, you have to imagine that there was this came along before Star Wars. So this was predecessor. I think Star Trek had been out a little while, but I think even in those days, you didn't see many external shots of them in the early 70s. That later on, they sort of did more external things. So again, it was sort of legendary sort of, I don't know, puppetry, if you like, in a lot of ways, with proper models being used. So they use this particular scale as well. So this is known as a 12-inch scale, but apparently the real scale of this is 196, as I found out earlier. So that's actually quite cool. They do then the 22-inch version, which is if you've got the wallet or a couple of kidneys going, you can go and buy that one. And apparently you can get the metal engines for the back, which are over 100 odd quid as well for it. But again, I think with modern metallizers, you don't really need that because they are quite nice and they're quite cool. So again, that's what you can do with that. Then obviously for the main event, for all the real detailed close-up work and that, they had a 44-inch version of that particular kit. But over the years, lots of people have done this. Obviously, Dinky did die-cast ones of it. Lots of model manufacturers have brought out ones in various sort of guises and things of different scales, right the way through from tiny to up to those big sort of, you know, 22-inch versions and 44-inch versions. So again, it's one of those ones. It's quite an interesting ship. It's been around a long time. And because of their Series 1 version and Series 2, there's different versions to make them sort of screen accurate and stuff. I'm not really worried about that. You know what I'm like, but I do enjoy it. And I'm now going down that rabbit warren of it and thinking, do you know what? I'd like to do the 22-inch. I think that would actually be a really, really cool one to do. Obviously, I've done this one. I'm not going to do it for a while, but I might start looking around for a 22-inch one. So if anyone's got one going cheap, I'm in the market for one. So yeah, but very, very interesting. Anyway, part 1 of that is up on the site for members to watch right now. And then hopefully part 2 will be up with you on Monday, depending on how the puppy is and things like that, which you'll hear about in a moment. So, but yes, so getting on with this one. But I'm puppy sitting this weekend on my own. So it just depends on when she's not squeaking and doing things. Hopefully she'll be asleep a lot. I can get a lot more filming work done of this. But again, it's going to be quite complex because I've got to paint it grey on side and then all the framework's got to be done in white. You want it to be that 3D. So I'm actually thinking marker pens could be a great way of doing this, of getting into all the little details and doing it with marker pens. I am aware that you can get Marsets for these as well. So I think it was, is it Aztec Dummy, something like that? The same company who I did the giant Enterprise, Star Trek Enterprise for, they did the big sort of Aztec pattern on the outside of it. They do the Marset for this as well. If it's currently available or not, I don't know. But again, I think you'd keep that more for the 22-inch version if you're going to do it than you would do on this one, the 12-inch version. But again, really, really cool. I am going to do both pods for it as well. This one needs a little bit of work just to make it fit nicer. But again, so it can be just the normal one, or we can then come in and we can put in the big one as well. But I think it's quite cool when it's all together. And again, it's just that thing, simplicity, scaffolding, really, really nicely done. So yes, but that's hence why it's in lots of bits, because we've got to paint it all separately just so we can get into it. So again, I perhaps shouldn't have put this top bar on here, but I think we can get away with it and stuff like that. So yeah, very, very nice. Anyway, part 1 of that is up with you right now up on the site. The other thing that's went on this week was, obviously we were talking clearly about what we're doing right now. So that was up on here right now. So members, you can go off and see that on the vlog. And obviously I was talking about what I was doing at the weekend and on Monday and Tuesday, and I was away just like that. So members, you can see that one. And then last night, as I say, we had the adorable Amber make her television appearance down on here. So, and this is why I just had to go off and grab her. And welcome the littlest bundle of joy, who's asleep. She's absolutely hanging. She's had a really busy day today, and you are so tired. But yes, this is little Amber. She's 9 weeks old. She's a Labrador. And yes, Lola, who's upstairs asleep as well, sleeping it all off. You all right? You're very tired. Sorry, just had to wake her up for this. So yes, that was little Amber. She was on last night. No doubt you'll be seeing a lot more of it. She was absolutely knackered. I mean, she'd been on the go. We picked her up at 11 o'clock yesterday. Then she came back here for a couple of hours. We introduced her to Lola. And then after that, she had to go down to the vets to have her jabs. So she had a really, really busy day. And at that point, she absolutely was exhausted, as you can see. But there we go. That's little Amber, the latest addition to the Flory team. You'll be seeing a lot more of her, no doubt, in the weeks and months to come as we make our way through. Anyway, good show yesterday. We were talking to all new things that are coming out, clearly, what various things we've been doing and stuff like that. What Matt's been up to. He's talking about his new camera angles, because obviously he's had a move around in the studio. We were talking about the kit releases. So we were talking obviously about that Honda down at the bottom. We were talking all about the most smallest ship in the world. We've worked it out now. Well, I haven't. The guys have worked this out, that it's literally around about 8.5 centimetres long. So it's a bit of a tiddler, but it's full of detail. So if you want something incredibly detailed, it comes with photo etch. It's got a 3D printed ship's bell. Can you imagine how small that must be? So unless there's something in the printing that's wrong here, but that's what we've worked it out. It's a 1/700th scale ship. So roughly, I think it's like 8.7 centimeters it is. So it's not very big at all. But anyway, as you can see, it's packed full of detail. So yes, we will see how that one goes along. So if you do fancy that one, that will be coming down the line soon by a new company we haven't actually heard of or seen. And then we were discussing, to be honest with you, Airfix reboxing stuff these days. They've turned into Hasegawa, or was made the point, the Poundland version of Hasegawa, because they seem to have gone through that sort of stage where Hasegawa did it, where they just sort of, instead of releasing new kits, they were just bringing out other versions in different markings and doing that. Now, we are aware that this one doesn't have the slatted wing and it's got a different wing on it and stuff like that. So it's truly not just a complete, just a new set of decals. It is a new version. But that is the third version of that kit we've seen now. We were saying that we're just getting frustrated because we want new stuff. We want new incredible kits that are pushing the limits of, injection molding, and we're not getting it. We're just getting old kits ramped out again and again and again. So, but anyway, if you want to catch up with that one, that show is up for you right now. You can go off and see that. Plus the fact we were answering a lot of your questions. We were talking about other kit releases like the Hind A, which is quite nice as well. And why the hell this thing never had a windscreen for the pilot we were talking about. It just must have been horrible flying that thing when everybody behind you is in gorgeous luxury and you're stuck out there. So yeah, a bit like being on a balcony doing 120 mile an hour. So yes, but anyway, if you want to see that one, you can see that. That is up on the site right now. And obviously we were talking about some of the latest things that are going on the PM store, some of the stuff that's come in. We've had massive restock of SMS paints and stuff like that, but I'll take you around with that one in a moment as well. So yes, good one with that. So anyway, you see all about that one. That is up on the site with you right now. Speaking of all things PM, I said before, we've got some new specials up with you. So I managed to secure a little bit of Hasegawa via a third-party source. So anyway, we've got some of these in as well. So if you do fancy a Sabre, which is a really nice one as well, we've got the Sabre up there as well. That's the F86 F30 version. All right. Now, we've got the AV8B in. And again, no one technically does that kit still. I know obviously we've got the kinetic one and stuff like that, but no one does it. So we've got that one down in there. And if you do want the legendary, and again, I'm still not convinced that the Magic Factory one has beaten it, as in bang for buck and all the rest of it. But we've got the classic Skyhawk, got the M version, so it's got the hump on the back. Some nice versions in that one as well. So if you want to go off and get those, you can do. And a couple of the weapon sets and the crew sets as well. So we've got those ones down in there. A couple of other bits that are going around as well. We've got the Edard limited edition for the B26 as well, in a very nice one. We've got the Mirage 3 CGA version, and we've got the Ornithopters, which I'm absolutely in love with those. I think they're absolutely mega, very, very nice indeed. Plus the fact some of the other deals and things that are going on in the moment just down in there. And as we said on last night's store show as well, we've got a discount to clear out because obviously Abteilung, I think they're having a rebranding and jig around everything. They seem to be dropping the Abteilung bit and just we call them 502 oils. So they're changing them all. So we're not 100% sure that all the colours are coming back. So at the moment, they doesn't look like they are. So if you fancy any of those, we've got those up on offer because we're clearing out, obviously, the last of our stocks as well, along with the brushes, the cleaners, and all the other bits as well. So if you want to grab some 502s, I'd grab them now. That's basically, it's going to last you a lifetime anyway. And at just like £3.55, it's a bargain. Just go out and grab them, all right, for that particular one. Said before, we've had a mass restock of a lot of stuff come in. So AK Real Colours, we had a load of those in. The markers have come back in as well. We've had a big restock of those this week. And then obviously SMS paints as well. We've got a load of those have come back in as well, because obviously we ran down our stocks for the move. Now we're building our stocks back up and all the rest of it. All right, so we've got all of those down in there as well. Okay, don't forget we've got the Don Kit store as well. That is up and running. So this is our sort of, I don't know, extra sale bit, if you like, which we've put up as well. So we got something up in here. We might change the logos and things around in here to match the PM store, but basically it is the PM store. It's just our sort of outlet through eBay. It's an account we've had for a while and we're using that one. So there you go. You can get all of those. So you might notice we're clearing out loads of old stock and things. They're all up on here now. There is literally pages of them. All right, so if you just want to pop along down in here, you can pop along down in there and find those. I will put the link down below, but obviously if you just look for Don Kit 17 on eBay, you'll find it on there. I'll just pop Don Kit 17 into Google. You'll find it as well, and it can take you straight there. But there's some extra discounts and some money off down in there as well, but some nice kits. Basically, it's the last remnants of all the big sale stuff that we've had recently. So if you want to grab any of those ones, you can do. They are up on eBay as well to get all of those. Okay, just some dates for you coming up, because obviously October and November are going to be incredibly busy. So we've got some live stuff coming up. We've got some shows and things like that. So anyway, it's all going to kick off with Flory Fest, which is going to be on the 12th and 13th of October. So make sure you've got that one in your diaries. Usual thing. Fun, laughter, giggles, all the rest of it are going to happen. We'll do some demoing, we'll be having some talks, some various bits and pieces on with that one. So if you want to get involved with that one, that's Flory Fest for this year, 12th and 13th of October. Then I'm over to Eindhoven in the Netherlands for SMC, or Scale Model Challenge. So that's on the 19th and 20th of October. So if you are going to the SMC over there, please come and say hello. We have got a stand. We will be there. We will be selling the wash and all the goodies and all the usual bits as well. And obviously all the display stuff and everything else that the Brevaco do as well with Flory Models Europe. So we'd love to have you on there. So that's on the 19th and 20th of October. Telford for Scale Model World, obviously that's over on the 9th and 10th of November. We're going to be there on the 9th, so we don't have a stand for that one. We're going to be just walking around doing a meet and greet and all the usual things for there, so please come and say hello to us over there. And then we've got the turkey shoot, so this is our big one. So that's going to run from the 28th to the 1st of December. It's really late this year, so if you want to come over and join us for that couple of days as well, it'll be live builds. We're all going to be building things, usual thing. We'll have a quiz in the evening, all the usual stuff, fun and laughter that goes along with that one. And obviously we can answer your questions, and obviously say, because we're going to be building, you can see exactly what you do. I'm going to use the marker pens and then hopefully get that Puma done completely in those 4 days as well. So that'll be fun. So make sure you keep those dates available. They'll be down below in the show notes as well. And that is about it for this week. Such a short week, I know, but obviously yesterday it was all about the puppy. Today it's sort of catching up with orders and washes and all stuff like that. We're doing that one. So hopefully next week puppy will be a bit quieter and we can get seriously into this one. So plan of action for next week is obviously going to push into this. We're going to get some primer on it over the weekend, and then we can start on the paintwork for it going through. Then we're going to be starting on our next big and giant project, which is this one, which was voted by you guys wanted me to do. So this is for the Osprey. I've got some aftermarket for that as well. So we're going to be doing that one. And the nice people at Magic Factory have sent me out their latest one as well. So this is the new sort of Bradley. This is the M7A3 support vehicle type one. So it doesn't have a tow launcher, but it's got all the other bits as well. So that looks proper cool to go along with their other Bradley, because they did the M2A4 version. You might know we did the review. So I'll be doing a review for that one as well. Plus the fact I've got some other reviews winging their way to me at the moment, and I'll bring you those just as soon as they land. As always on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery. So until next week, everybody, happy modelling. Take care.
I was not ready to falling like I'm wasted.